Hello, everyone. Nadeem here with PC.Solutions.Net. So, last tech journal that we sent out, a couple of questions came out from that, and I've been having conversations with people, and they've been asking me about this. So, the article that they're referring to is it's take your business to the next level with these technology solutions. And I think a lot there's some confusion as far as what technology solutions, and there's a section in here about automation. So the automation part really is not about coding and creating applications to automate stuff. It's more geared towards using things like Power Automate from Microsoft, where you don't have to know coding to do that. And I'll give you an example of what actually I implemented this morning for a small business. They just needed something, to process scan documents real quick. So the process was, the user was scanning invoices and receipts, and then they would scan it to their PC and then move them into their shared repository where they process them. And it was a pain because the processing was done at another site. So these guys had to scan stuff, and then they had to put it in an online storage area, and then somebody would pick it up and process it. So with Power Automate, and this took me like maybe 5 minutes, if that, 5 or 10 minutes. With Power Automate, what I was able to do was create a scan to email on their scanner. And the reason I needed to do scan to email is because the scanner did not support any kind of online storage like Dropbox, OneDrive, SharePoint. It did not support that. So what I did is I set up an account to have it scan to email, and then I ran a Power Automate process. So when an email comes in with a PDF attachment, to take that PDF, save it in online repository, and then that way people on the other side in the other office can process these invoices and receipts and so on and so forth. Took me like 5 minutes. It saved them a ton. I mean, some of the little things like that we do, it amazes people how much time it can save, because there was a user who was actually sitting there putting the paper in and then going to their computer, clicking the scan, and then making sure it's right, and then saving it with a certain name. Into all that is now automated. So what took people, maybe 5 to 10 minutes per, 4 or 5 different invoices, it's now taking less than a minute. They just put all those invoices in there, hit the shortcut button, the system does the rest. And that's what automation is about. Now, combine that with AI, and things get a lot better, because, and I'll give you another example. So there is and I'm trying not to say any names. So there's a company, they manufacture engines, jet engines. And one of the things that they needed to find out is they didn't have a lot of data as far as maintenance and things like that. So they started collecting this data and feeding it into an AI system where it would detect certain sensors and thresholds, and then intelligently flag engines that are in the field to be serviced. Now, this is huge. It is so huge that the company added around 20% to their bottom line by doing proactive maintenance. And now these engines in production, they cannot cause issues where things get delayed, flights get delayed because there's an engine problem that needs to be worked on. All that is gone. And it's astounding how, in regular day-to-day life, we don't think much about it. AI, what is that? We think, robots and stuff like that. But that's not where the real benefit is. The real benefit is in processing tons of data that you can collect in the field, and then making intelligent decisions on, hey, when to do maintenance on a certain engine. And then after time, the AI gets better and better. The more it learns, the better it gets. So that's where the future is for automation is in those kind of things. Now, of course, people can spin up bots to for customer service and things like that, but that's not where the real benefit is. The real benefit is in intelligently making the decisions around when to do things like, in this case, maintenance for an engine. And 20%, that, I mean, we were thinking, okay, maybe we'll realize, 1 to 5%, somewhere in there. When we saw 20%, that was that just blew us away. But anyway, I just wanted to touch a little bit on that, and talk to you about what that automation is, what I mean by automation. When we talk about automation, it's not coding, it's not some programmer sitting over there poring over their keyboard and spending 4 or 5 days and nights working through all that time. And it's more about things you can automate on your own. The business people can create things and automate things on their own, as opposed to having to reach out to programmers. That's where we're headed. So until tomorrow, everybody, have a great day, and be safe out there.